Trash.
Hey fuckers, it's Friday.
Can't spell shattered without shat or turd.
Like a gut punch to the abdomen.
Some of the funniest shit on the web.
I call it a rock friend.
I like the cut of your jib, gentlemen.
These 5 are the only protection we have.
The best part of the show is the genuine Hasbro love.
Good night, folks.
And of course, Matt's weekly farts.
Breaking news. It's very outside of the box.
Nailed it.
I love Friday.
Bob's Bait and Tackle, now carrying Hasbro.
They truly are your favorite podcast.
Thoughts, prayers, likes, and shares.
Shattercast.
A to B.
Shattercast Uncut? Is that you? Shattercast
When are you going to bring Larry back?
My favorite Star Wars podcast.
Shattered Cast Uncut.
Complete fuckers. Podcast is intended for mature audiences only, and its sole purpose is to entertain. If it doesn't fit with your sensitive sensibilities, please feel free to turn it off now and
Shut the fuck up.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Shattercast Uncut, episode 252. And we're still plugging away. That's what we're doing here. We're slightly larger. Yeah, we're slightly larger staffed than usual. So, or than as of late, anyway. Tonight we have Greg from Mercy with us.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Robert D. Toff.
Yo.
What is it? Fan.
Fans.
Do you know my cats and my dog are not fans of that shit?
Really?
Yeah, when I do that shit loud as fuck, like early in the morning, they run the fuck away. They do not like that shit.
I wonder. I mean, I know that I saw a fucking documentary one time, like on animals, special skills or whatever, and they were saying like a dog's hearing is like 100 times more sensitive than a human ear, but a cat's ear is like 5,000 times more sensitive than a dog's ear, and it's the same, like almost perfectly inversed for scent, like with dogs and cats and humans.
Dogs are nearsighted. I mean, cats are nearsighted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's that. They use their whiskers to help them with.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And did you know that I am 10 million? My sight is 10 million times more powerful than Helen Keller's.
In my personal case, though, I think it's more that my animals don't want to see their owner descended into dementia in his 30s, so they run the fuck away, so they don't have to see it.
They don't hear you either, so they hit mute.
When I'm home alone, like I'll just walk around and make stupid fucking noises just to make noise. I hate a quiet house. I mean, I know, like, I don't mind a quiet house when kids here or we're hanging out, but if I'm home alone, like, I gotta have some music going or like a movie on or something, and like really? I'll sing to the dog and shit. Yeah, I just don't like having a quiet house.
Do you sing in dog language or English?
No,
I dog language.
Are you like?
Oh, come on, man! It's not even Thanksgiving yet. No, I usually riff on popular 80s tunes, 60s, 70s, and 80s tunes, and replace cat and dog specific situations that happen around my house with the lyrics.
It pleases me to be the first.
Dude.
They say people that talk and sing to their animals
are crazy.
No, they respect their animals more, and they're more intelligent because they don't sit around going woo 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 woo. You actually talk, and you don't debase yourself to the level where you're going meow 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 meow, and then your cat's just looking at you like, I can't do your fucking taxes. I don't know what you're trying to say.
Right. Hot dog pizza submarine? What the fuck?
Yeah.
So, Greg, what'd you get this week?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
Phase Life.
Shit, Phase Life was that fucking one-eyed hamster you had for 2 weeks before you fucking killed it.
Yeah, that eye thing was a phase.
That too, I was a phase.
That's just
I got Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 Ultimate Freddy. It's the one with the cross burned into his head, and it's got like where he rips his sweater open. He's like, "These are my souls."
Oh yes.
And he's got the the fucking dream heroin fingers.
Ew. Oh, right. I remember that.
And he's like, oh, what a rush. Yeah, it's pretty badass. Like, I like it. I'm glad I'm only buying these and not, like, all the other shit. That, like, aliens. Those alien and predator people. Oh, my fucking God.
The Predator people are really... That's like the Predator people, or they're like the Mortal Kombat ninja collector people. Like, they get like 30 of them. And it's like, okay, got a Predator with a yellow ribbon and a Predator with a red ribbon.
Well, that's the thing, like to me.
Predators.
I'm like, you just got another Predator, and they're like, oh, when's fucking one-eye, red scar, tusk head Predator coming out? It's like, come on, NECA, I've been waiting 9 years.
I got Reptile Predator. I got Smoke Predator coming up.
Yeah, no, these are pretty cool. I don't mind buying like multiples of like Freddy and Jason because they're different. Like they're movie specific, so it's not bad.
Phase.
I mean, I guess, but
Sorry, Bobby told me to say phase a lot to you.
I never said anything remotely close to that.
Yeah, but I'm not buying any of that shit like fucking Scream and like they picked up some cheesy ass properties.
Scream kind of fits in there though. I know what you mean, like the generational gap, but in terms of like slasher caricature, like it kind of fits in. I mean, it wouldn't be in my choice either. Like they could possibly get me with a Reagan from Exorcist.
I thought you meant the president.
Dude, what if they did a president's line? I'm like,
oh
I'm
my
all
God,
in.
I would so collect that.
I'm all in for Garfield.
Bill Clinton with BJ action.
No, with so he's got to come with the saxophone and sunglasses head. But yeah, I would probably be in on a Reagan, and maybe Darth Maul from Insidious.
I don't know if I said this on the show or said it in the chat. But I was talking to Kit, or both. Yeah, I mean, or possibly both. I was talking to Kit one night. Like, I think I did say it because someone's like, seems like something they would do. I would be down if NECA decided to say fuck it. But now they're sold at Target. There's no way. But if they do like a real serial killer one, like that would be kind of neat.
Proceeds go to the victims' families.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like a charity thing. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to put some positive spin on it. But yeah, like, no, I'm saying you've got to do something. If you're gonna do that, you've got to do something. Like,
whenever it's like traumatic, I mean, like one of the accessories is your grandfather's severed head,
and a fish tank to drop it in.
Grandpa. Oh God, I'm in trouble.
I think the only grandpa killers killed their own grandpas.
No, I mean, they don't have to be grandpa killers. They're just, now they're your grandpa after you've grown up.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So aside from that, a bunch of hateful comments about what I just said in various social media forums. I got the Fanstoys Quietus.
Yeah, nice.
And I really haven't messed with them much because I got a big acquisition this week. Yes, Robert, that's exactly what I was about to say. People that mean it don't have to brag about it. Just saying. I couldn't mess with him because he's got some clicky joints, and it was scaring our new baby. We rescued a hedgehog from some people that probably shouldn't have had a hedgehog.
Dr. Robotnik.
Oh boy, I knew he was going there.
Oh my God,
I saw that coming.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, no, we got her, and I was a little apprehensive. I joined a neighborhood Facebook page. That's how you know you're getting old. When you seek out and join your neighborhood's Facebook page.
Yeah, my wife belongs to ours.
And
they're like, kids are knocking on the doors and running away again.
Yeah. They don't do that in this one. Mostly it's like, we found this dog, or we saw this dog. It's very friendly. It looks like it might belong to somebody. It's in this area, and it's helpful stuff for the most part.
Mr. Schlepnik, your dog pooed on my lawn again.
No, nothing like that. People looking to get work done on their house, and they're trying to find local neighborhood people with small businesses to like, you know, like anybody do flooring or anybody do gutter replacement or anything like that. So it's kind of cool. It's like keeping it in the neighborhood. There's not too many Beckys and not too many fucking over the top like white peopling. Not like the other fucking neighborhood or the other city group I'm part of. But anyway, so I was just commented. I was like, hey, just got approved. I've been here 8 years. I didn't know there was a group. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, Kit, we live here and we're into this and this and this. And
I'm a great admin.
Yeah, I'm an Adamon. Can I have the Admons? No, but I was just like, hey, if there's anybody in the neighborhood, anybody wants to hang out, like, or if there's any like activities, we'd love to meet our neighbors. We've been here forever, and we blah 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 blah. Whatever. I was just being nice. And I was like, oh, we have a dog, 2 cats, a hedgehog. And someone was like, do you want another hedgehog? And I was like, get away from me, Satan.
You're like, oh boy, do I.
And then it was like ding dong, and there's a hedgehog in a box on your doorstep.
I said,
like a little blanket.
No, I was like, no, we don't have space for it. And
what do you live in, a dollhouse?
Well, the cages are huge. Like they need a lot of space to run around, and they need a lot of it. They need attention. That like I just was like, no, we don't need another responsibility. It's not fair. But then she messaged me and was like, we got off somebody else, and my daughter, like whatever, like she needed to find a home for it. And I was like, if we don't want it, our friend will take it. So we went and picked her up. But we got her, and she drank an entire bowl. Stop. This is actually serious. All the things that you're not supposed to do, they did. She drank an entire bowl of water, and like she was like, she drank and ate for an hour. Like she hadn't eaten or drinking in like a week. And like she seemed super happy to be out of there. Like I don't think they purposely like neglected her, but even the lady was like, yeah, we don't really know a lot about him, but my daughter wanted one. And that's not really the kind of pet. Like you don't get a quote unquote exotic pet just because your daughter wants one. It's not a hamster or a guinea pig or even a cat, which is like low maintenance. Like I don't know. So we have a new hedgehog, and she's very happy here.
What's her name? Jinx.
Jinx.
Nora.
Again.
We don't. They named her Nora, so we kept her name Nora.
You should have called her Barbecue Betty. Sorry, Nora.
Either one. One or the other for sure.
It's fun. So yeah, we have another fucking another hedgehog, but she's fun. It's fun.
Good.
It's fun.
Robert, what'd you get?
Let's see. I finally opened my skid mark, and it is quite a skid mark. The X-Transbots. It's such a letdown. It's definitely going to be up there for one of the disappointing figures of the year because it had such potential, and doesn't make sense to me. You know, like and it was actually mine wasn't assembled too well. Like just transforming it, like I guess part of his dashboard. You know, on the right side is the steering wheel, on the left side is like a plastic dashboard they plug on and they glue it on, it turns out, because mine wasn't really glued well and just fell off. So I got to glue it back on. And
no, mine wasn't glued on either. I think I was just in with friction. But
yeah, it's just loose. You got to put another dab of glue on it. Like there's like dried glue on the part and it just didn't stay. But I'll have to glue that back. And yeah, the same loose arm. You know, it's amazing that they did such a good in the face. Obviously, what everybody else is saying. I don't understand, you know, how Keith can put out this flip out, which I got that. I'm not sure. I wasn't on last week, huh? No, flip out I got, and I'm floored at flip out. He's fucking amazing. Beep. He's like, I'm just doing it to myself, Bobby.
Yeah,
I'm shocked at how boxy he looks, yet how articulated he is. And I love the reds. The transformation was fun. It's solid. I mean, like, wow. That is definitely up in the same echelon as Fanstoys in my book. And I'm floored at that figure. I'm loving those X-Transbots. Stunticons. Like, this is the first time I can legitimately see myself purchasing 2 sets of combinders just because I want both.
My man said,
you know,
combinders.
I think I'm going to do the same. Yeah.
Interlock 2 binders.
Combinders. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm doing that probably with Zeta as well because it sounds like whatever Fanstoys puts out, I just want to buy, even if I already have someone else's. That's how good they are, you know.
I know. I get it.
But I got in Onslaught Zeta, and I put that together, and shockingly, my Brawl is very solid. No issues with connection as a leg, and Bobby's Brawl comes apart and it disconnects easily. It's because of that spring-loaded connector part, I think. My Swindle is the problem, and Bobby's Swindle is solid. So next time I go to his house, swap out. And my Swindle, the spring-loaded connection is just too loose, and so just comes off real easy. And Swindle he doesn't come apart when you have him just as a leg and you're throwing it around, tossing around like a football with your kids. But when you have it as a leg, it just likes to come untabbed in places and stuff. And I'm disappointed in Blackout. I think that's the weakest, really bad. Parts of it is just loose, and the hand. I don't understand. Excuse me. I don't remember your on your review if you mentioned that wrist little kibble thing that swivels down for the Vortex. When you put the combined mode hand on, that wrist thing really gets in the way with you being able to turn his hand and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a bump on his wrist.
I don't recall.
Yeah. Very, very disappointed in that. But the figure itself it's what everybody else has been saying. It's like it's really great. It's not as great as Constructor, but it's still up there as great. And it's
second
good.
best.
Second best. First is worst. Second is best. Third is the one with the hairiest chest.
I thought it was third is the nerd with the hairy chest. That's what we used to say.
I like that. And I still haven't even opened it. Generation Toys Katana.
I'll open you one day, He-Man.
Generation Toys Katana that I haven't even opened yet. Matt says,
man, send that my way when you're done.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Send it tomorrow. Huh?
Are you not in on that set, Bobby?
No, I'm out of that scale.
I was supposed to send you something else.
Yeah, you were. Something that you haven't got yet, though. Oh, the DX9 Beast Rodimus.
That's with Quietus in freaking limbo.
Yeah.
So annoying. I'm the first person to get it, Ooh, how about, who else I know got something? A lot of something recently. And he's biting off of Matt's toilet selfies. Pinkerton is now caught the Legends fever.
I heard that. That's very interesting to me. I'm very curious to see how that shakes out.
Yeah, I had mentioned to him, I'm like, who's giving you Legends advice? Because I hope you're not just buying everything, But Matt said that he gave him advice, which is good.
Yeah, there's I think the best way. I hope he does a table. Well, to be honest with you, what I hope he does is I hope he builds a table and makes a Springfield diorama and puts his Simpson figures on the Springfield diorama and then moves the Transformers Legends to where his Simpsons figures are. That would be my wish. But we shall see.
We shall see. But I think that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. And
cool.
I started a new show with a buddy of mine. You might have heard of him, Benny Skullface.
Yeah,
the dummies show.
Yeah,
that's that British dude in the wheelchair, right?
Yeah. When we can, when time allows, it's gotten a good feedback so far. I think
very British.
It's doing well. I want to get my goal is to get away from reviews, to do if two big reviews hit, if Takara something drops in 1 week and fucking Fanstoys drops in 1 week and Zeta's always drops her fifth part of a combiner, obviously I'm going to do all three that week if I can, but generally speaking I want to get to a point where I'm kind of only doing one review a week, if that, because I can't compete with, I've tried, and I can't compete with guys that are getting the shit so early, by the time that mine gets up, it's old news in the review world. So I'm enjoying doing something else that I don't have to be in such a rat race for.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's unique. It's your own opinion.
Yeah. And they can't do that. You know, it's like it's a trade off. It's like it's almost like the market adjusting. You know, it's interesting. I grabbed. I'm not sure if.
What did you get, Bobby?
No.
Or have an opportunity to look at?
I had the opportunity to look at Mastermind Creations Azalea, the stealth version, which is fine.
Is it better than Fanstoys?
As an action figure, yes. As a display piece, fuck no. And yeah, it doesn't look right. Like it doesn't. That's the main problem. Like it doesn't look right. Like it doesn't fit. It looks like. I mean, obviously this is like an extreme, but like it would be like putting Generation Toys Katana, you know, on your G1 Arc shelf of Takara stuff. Like it just doesn't. It just looks out of place. It doesn't look like it fits.
What if she didn't have that fucking Pumpkin King of Halloween face sculpt?
Dude, that's not even it. It's just the general build and design of it. Like it's especially stuff like the way the hips look and stuff. Like it just doesn't work. It just doesn't look right.
That's unfortunate because I kind of wanted to.
Yeah, like you know, they have that kind of
jiggle that toggle. Jiggle the toggle.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing they bump into with a lot of their Ocular Max stuff. Like their Backdraft and their Klaatu or whatever it was, whatever their name was, Spaceman, whatever the fuck it was called, their Cosmos. Like it just doesn't look like it fits. Is that your camera, Robert? Or Greg?
No, it's not me.
Greg. It's Greg's camera. Close up. And then I got the opportunity to look at Magic Square's Ultra Magnus. Which is awesome.
You like it?
Yeah, it's really good. It's a lot of fun.
Feels good.
I mean, it feels like the rest of their stuff, which is fine. It's that soft plastic. You know what I'm talking about, right? Which doesn't really bother me, but it doesn't have that great feel to it.
It's like unique toys, you know?
Yeah, like some unique toy stuff.
The soft ones.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like it doesn't feel like they're lockdown, but it does feel like they're Constructicons.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it.
Thank you. And then I think I mentioned Quietus last week, and that's it. I got a couple things on the way, finally, but I didn't get anything really this week. I'm getting new floors tomorrow.
Yay. Very good. Good. Did you know a guy that knew a guy?
No, I didn't know any guys.
Google?
Yeah, well, no. I mean, we remember the same people that did our basement stuff. So
that was a guy you knew that knew a guy.
No. I knew a guy that did our electricity for the basement. I knew a guy that did some drywall for the basement, but I didn't know a guy to do the carpet. I know a guy that does carpet, but like he hates doing it, so I hate to ask him.
He hates earning money.
I think that in his mind, it's not worth it. Like he's doing it so much that it's just not worth it. So yeah, I think we can just move right along. Move smoothly. Fanstoys Roadking prototype.
Hubba bubba.
Was this not in the panel? I feel like this was all in the panel.
Yeah, these are photos from the panel.
Oh, well, then we can just skip their party news.
Yeah, just skip that. Anyway, still looks good. And then we have Fanstoys Maverick prototype, which is all
same pictures then.
Yep. So yeah,
man, fuck some Fanstoys.
Yeah, still looks good.
Looks good. See, this is bad. This is what I don't like about them. You know, they give you. I would prefer just the silhouette than 3 months before you're actually releasing it, show us the prototype. They did this with Jetfire, and I love that figure, but they showed us the prototype or the painted prototype or whatever, the production sample for so long, it took the excitement out of it.
Well, I would say, like, when compared to how long you saw the silhouette, I wouldn't really call that a long time.
Yeah, but okay, when's this coming out? 2020? When is it really coming out? And up at the, is it 2019? Like what? Do we have an idea?
I mean, it's Fanstoys, man. Who the fuck knows?
Right, 2 weeks. So, I mean, it's just, look, if this is coming out first quarter, I'm happy. If it comes out second quarter, all right, blame it on Chinese New Year. But the end of next summer, it's like, yo, what the fuck? And you know it's probably the end of next summer. Maybe getting pushed back to October. It's going to be a year. It's a year. You hear that narrative, that little chronology? That's what's going to happen. You know, and it's going to be a whole year that we're looking at this. And then the excitement just saps away.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that, I don't know, it seems silly to kind of push the pictures that they just pushed, you know? Like, it seems as though the best thing to do, I mean, what everybody wants, you know what everybody wants to see. Everybody wants to see how they're pulling off the combined form. So, like, that seems to be, like, the way to do it, but...
What if they release after like these are like $200 each, right?
Are they? No.
I know we had a whiff of the price point. I know we did.
No, there's a pre-order up for $159.
Okay.
For what? Is it the main one or the lens?
Yeah, the main ones.
All right, that's not terrible.
The lens are going to be $259.
For the main one, and 3 limbs are all reasonable. The last one's $300. You know, can you imagine them pulling the shit that they pull with Jetfire and whatnot, where they release this and then they have a box set with the X version that's like painted to the nines.
Oh my god!
Like what they do with the Dinobots, and it's a limited release, $1,000.
Yeah, no one wanted those at the time, and I wish I had bought them and just sat on them because I'd be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd be a thousandaire. I'd have like $4,500.
Better hatch some chickens.
And that's conservative.
Moving on to Hasbro news, we got some more Siege images.
Yes. Fuck yes.
We got a Prowl that I don't feel like looks as good as the side swipe.
It's a Prowler.
Wait, we got a driver, we got a flyer, and a parts former.
I like Prowl's feet a lot.
Really?
Looks like he's wearing fucking... No, he looks like he's wearing his mom's shoes. He looks like he's wearing his mom's bra and his mom's shoes.
Yeah, it's not great.
Just prowling around in secret with little secrets in the closet.
Little secrets. Prowling around with little secrets. That's going to be the show title for sure.
Oh my god! So, what do you guys think? I like the 6 gun.
Yeah, I like 6 gun. I think that actually he's probably the best looking. Ironhide looks pretty good too. I mean, he needs to take them shoe cannons off, the 6 gun shoe cannon. but I think Ironhide looks pretty good otherwise.
Oh my god!
I'll be honest with you. When I saw Ironhide, that gray prototype or whatever, I thought it was some new character. Like it was what's the drill guy from GoBots?
I don't know.
Nose cone? No, that's
no Drill Robo. We'll just call him that.
Well, it probably is his name.
Well, that's his name from Machine Robo, yeah. But like I thought it was like a brawn body with a cone head, just from the angle of that prototype. I mean, I guess it looks all right.
It's cool that 6 gun kind of does 6 gun things. You know, like I'm on board with that.
The feet.
Yeah, the feet.
Like you know how like a cowboy will have a little dagger pop out of his boot.
Yeah, like Joker in Dark Knight.
This guy's got fucking pew pew. Oh my! And he's got like arms over his shoulders, like I'm an octopus. Rah.
6 guns alt mode is dumb, but I mean, I guess they had to do something.
Well, that's 6 guns alt. Wait, he breaks up into guns, right?
Yeah, but he has like a airplane mode also in Siege.
Yeah. You can't call him a triple changer.
Right. But yeah, I think Ironhide looks fine, and I think that 6 gun looks fine. I just think that Prowl looks like he's prowling around with some secrets.
I think I think our generation was probably the last generation you could safely market big box of guns to.
Yeah, I was talking to Pinkerton and Joe about like how much guns have changed in terms of toys recently, and like there is like some interesting stuff associated with that. Like when you really start to go down memory lane.
Oh, you know what they could do? They could, instead of a triple changer, they could say it's a big box of submarines.
They could. All right.
I don't understand Prowl's alt mode. Did you see Prowl's alt mode?
No.
It's there.
Oh yeah. He's got the windshield way back.
What's the point? I mean, if it's just Cybertronium mode,
Have a
like,
big old power
glass.
hood.
Let me have a glass section of weakness.
Yeah.
With a light on top.
Moving on, we have G-Shock X Transformers Master Optimus Resonant mode.
What?
That's funny.
What is this? Hold on.
It's a transformer that turns into
a sad face clock.
It's a Casio watch with a display piece that turns into Optimus Prime around the watch.
That clock is making a face like it just like farted and accidentally shit its pants. Like, I don't understand that. Why is it making that face?
I'm trying to find what you're talking about.
Look at his chest.
The main picture. It looks like he's got one little eye, one big eye, and he's frowning.
You don't see that? It's like it's so intentional.
Where's the frown? I see like a big smile.
I see a frown. That's an upside down.
On the watch. On the watch. I got you. That's funny. It almost looks like a mustache. Like he mustache you a few questions.
Oh my god.
Oh, I don't know. It kind of looks like he has fangs. Maybe he's like a goofy vampire.
So this is
with really bad face tattoos.
What's the alt mode? Is it a watch? Is it like a Ben 10?
It's an alarm clock.
Oh my god. And the Matrix is the clock or something?
It's a fashionable watch company making a fashionable watch, in some opinions, marketing it to Transformers people. Because Japan.
It's got an ankle rocker.
It does.
Hold on, they've done something before. Let's see what they've done before.
Interesting. This counts as a transforming robot that Takara's not doing themselves?
Oh, 11 years ago. No, it is Takara. It's a collaboration between the two companies. 11 years ago, I guess they did a Transformers Edition watch to coincide with the movie in 2007. And so this is like an update kind of deal.
Huh.
Moving on, Power of the Prime Select Series Red Swoop and Ricochet. Some interesting news this evening was brought to our attention by member Nomad Vagabond. That's a Nomad. That's a Metallica reference, right? U.S. Comic Store Midtown Comics has just listed 2 new pre-orders for Power of the Prime Select Series Red Swoop and Ricochet. No images yet, but they currently have a release date for the end of January. With these new listings, a question does come up. Are we likely to see more figures in the Select Series line?
Oh, man, I can't wait.
Oh, they have the answer to it at the bottom here. Who gives a fuck?
Oh, wow. This, I don't know what I'm waiting for more, this or Fanstoys Superion. I don't know. I hope one of them comes out first.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a thing. Like, I wonder if Greg, you kind of keep your finger on the scuttlebutt out there. Was anybody like, I wish there was a red one?
Well, I think they showed a red one. The very first one they showed of Swoop was at
BotCon
whatever
or
toy
SDCC or something like that.
Toy Fair, Comic-Con, Colorado.
Right.
There was a red one on the table. And then people were freaking out because they weren't getting their blue one, and so then they put out the blue one. And people were freaking out because they wanted a red one, so they're putting out a red one. And
I see.
And then Ricochet is just like one of those like opportunities to repeat jazz, because it was a e-hobby thing, which I like Stepper. or Ricochet is his American name.
Now,
I mean, I think it's a cool deco, but not for I wouldn't spend extra money on a mainline figure. I'd buy the Make Toys one.
Greg tried to put his finger on my scuttlebutt.
So,
my finger.
So this I think is actually worth talking about, which is the Pop Culture G1 Starscream statue, Pop Culture Shock. Now this is retailing at $750, and this is kind of my point with G1 in this upper sort of price bracket. When you start making this shit, and it starts getting really expensive and really large.
And in charge.
It doesn't. It looks like shit. Like this looks accurate. I feel like the face is a little off, but aside from that, it looks accurate. But it just doesn't look interesting. Like if you look at the Prime One, the Grimlock and Sharkticons, like I mean, it's obviously G1 inspired, but it looks great. Whereas like this is going for that hyper cartoon look, and like $750, like there's just no fucking way. Not for this.
It's very anime, especially with the facial choices. I don't know. I don't think it looks terrible. I mean, depending on like the quality.
If you saw this, where would you what would you expect the price to be? I guess.
What would I expect the price to be? I don't know. I don't buy statues. What would I pay for it? $5. But I don't buy statues. But this thing's a little over 2 feet tall. Like depending on how solid it is.
It's supposed to fit with like your quarter scale.
Oh, come on. That don't work.
But it just looks goofy as fuck.
That picture, that stand, it looks like Starscream like was being a dick and he just stomped on your ice cream cone.
I mean,
oh my god, and that's an apple.
I feel like the fire on the stand is like the most kind of interesting thing about it. Like in the stand itself.
Fire. It don't look like fire. It looks like ant eggs.
Well,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Do you think part of it might be the paint?
No, I think.
You think you're just cell shaded out?
I think it's just. I don't know, man. I think that like, it's just too toon for this. Like, I'm all with the toon shit for the MP stuff. Like, I think it's small enough and it kind of works, and then, but like this, like, it just doesn't. I feel like you never look like you're getting your money's worth with that simple ass aesthetic.
I would love an MP that looked this good and transformed perfectly, you know. But yeah, I agree. You can't do this. It doesn't look sweet. It's just something about it. I mean, it may be on your desk. I mean, in your Detolf, it would look glorious. Who knows? But
it won't fit. I mean, you had to take a shelf out. You had to put it in there with a Toy World Constructor.
It's easy. You just move Toy World Constructor over, take out a vertical panel, you know, hot glue gun two open sides of Detolfs together. You're good.
Well, I don't buy statues, so I don't know what like the value and the purchase. I don't know. I can't really.
I mean, I don't have any quarter scale. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I just don't have any purchasing experience, nor do I really have any like investment in what is coming out in this line or this like style, I should say, or whatever you want to call it, like the statue world, because it's just not something I buy. It's something I wouldn't mind getting into if I had the money and the space. But at this point, this is just fucking stupid for me to even fucking think about buying one.
I wish we could.
I don't.
Go ahead.
I was obviously ramping up, Robert, and then you just interrupted me.
I was just saying I wish.
No, I don't. No.
Just go ahead, Greg. Go ahead with it.
Just go ahead, Greg.
I am sorry. Just go ahead, Bobby.
Just go ahead.
I meant to say Robert. I don't think this looks bad, in my personal opinion. But I don't have like I don't know the in and outs of like what's available outside of what we talk about and what's considered to be this and that and what the other. But I mean, I think it looks cool.
So
that's
I don't think this looks bad, but I just feel like with this aesthetic, you're never going to be able to sell me on $750 because it
I'm
that's what I'm kind of getting at. Like the G1 cartoon look is just never going to look intricate enough for that price tag.
Right.
I'm just speaking subjectively. I get confused. I don't use a lot of big words.
Like it's
With my humble opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to ask me, hey, how's this look? I'd be like, oh, it looks good. And you'd be like, you want to pay $700 for it? I'd probably say no, but I'd probably say the exact same about like any of these statues we cover. Is what I'm trying to say.
So here's, I don't disagree with that, but real quick, Robert, and then I'm gonna let you finish. But
Thanks.
Greg had the best rebuttal of all time. I agree with you, but what I'm saying is that like if we were to play that same scenario out and say like, do you think the statue looks cool? I would agree. Yes, it looks cool. Do you think the Grimlock Sharkticon statue looks cool? Yes, it looks cool. Do you think that the Prime one, the movie, whatever the fuck, choose one, looks cool? Yes, it looks cool. Would you pay $750 for it? Maybe for the Grimlock one, no for the movie Prime, and no for this. And then if the next question was, does it look like an appropriate price? It would be yes for all except for this.
Yeah, see, I don't know what an appropriate price would be. I mean, I don't think any of them are worth that much.
Like if I see a movie figure that's like around $1,000 and it has all those little intricate pieces all painted and sculpted, and then I see this, which is like just brick, and it's like this right here, $250 off. I'm like, what?
No, I feel you. I definitely feel you. Yo, I'm just saying, I don't think any of these, statue, I mean, I get it, but, personally, if you're asking me about value or worth, I wouldn't pay this much for any of them, because they don't, what do they do?
Like, if this...
stand there?
They do, but they look fucking awesome. Like, it's a presence thing. And,
yeah.
You know, like, when I saw Joe's Darkness statue, I was like, I know where, and I think that thing was like $1,400. But I was
Wait.
Go ahead.
You got a Charlie Murphy statue?
No. I was like, but I can see where every penny went. But like this, I don't know. But go ahead, Robert. What were you gonna say? You've been trying to get in for a while.
I was just trying to throw out there that I really wish they had this stuff at TFCon to see what it looks like in person, to really get an idea. That's all.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I just don't. There's just something about the design, that I just don't see the money. I don't see it.
Yeah. There's certainly less sculpt work.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if this was even Stunticons, I would be like, because obviously I'd be more prone to go in on that. But I would be like, I'll pay $200 for Motormaster and $150 for the rest, each. But it's triple. I just can't do it. I can't see it. And I don't know PCS collectibles. Let me look them up real quick while we're on because I'm trying to get myself a little knowledgeable about the quarter scale game. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to see what else they've done in comparable pricing for those things. So it's Pop Culture Shock collectibles. Let's take a look at what they have at Sideshow. So they have an Alice Cooper. They have a Storm Shadow that's super animated. Animation accurate. A couple of Street Fighter things. Oh, and they did the Mortal Kombat stuff. Like the Mortal Kombat stuff they did. Like I'm looking at this Melina.
Oh, here comes a Bobby backtrack.
And see, that's $700. It's $50 less than this Starscream, and it looks infinitely better to me. Like that.
Oh.
That I see, and I'm like, yeah, 700 sounds okay. I feel like 500 would be perfect, but 700 sounds okay.
That's in my face.
Shoot me a link to that.
Okay, let me do what I can here. Go ahead, Robert.
I was saying, phase life with your
with my
Mortal Kombat shit.
My Mortal Kombat stuff.
Whatever it's worth, I've been collecting Mortal Kombat the longest I've heard.
I've been waiting for a Mortal Kombat collection. Like, luckily, I'm funding Chris's Street Fighter collection with my ninjas currently, but hopefully one day they'll. Actually, my Goro is en route. All right, Greg. I am sending this in the G3.
Okay. I had the wrong chat up
then. But yeah, it's. I just. This has more of a presence to me. They've done a Melina as well. I mean, a Katana as well, and the Katana looks great.
Oh, that base is cool.
Yeah, the base is cool. Like the 2 different head sculpts.
They had to show a picture of her butt for the statue crowd.
Yeah, they always do.
That?
Yeah.
Oh, a little added, little flare on the belt to make it look shinier than it probably really is.
Oh, no doubt. On the size as well.
Give her a little bondage ring that I don't think she's had in any of the games, just to sell the same. Oh, look at that face sculpt. Oh, show her butt again. We're showing off her size, not her butt.
Look at all the sculpted detail in the armor and the like on the chest and ribs and stuff. Like,
yeah, I mean it's cool. Like I get it. Yeah. What's the size on this?
Quarter scale, so 2 feet.
Puddin wants you to add him.
Okay, Puddin. So yeah, I would love to get Matt's opinion. I guess he got finished playing Fortnite. Let me add him.
Butterbean.
Well, just to play devil's advocate. But hold on.
Yeah, let's get his opinion fresh, and then play devil's advocate.
Well, I was just gonna say about this one.
That's what I'm saying. Like just before we enter in any sort of, let's wait. Let's wait. Get a fresh. Hey, Matthew.
Can I be so fresh and so clean?
You can. That would be perfect. So I have a question. Are you in the notes?
No, sir.
I haven't added him yet.
All right. Have you seen the pop culture shock statue of Starscream?
Yes.
Okay. What are your thoughts on that? As a huge Starscream fan, admittedly, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As a huge Starscream fan, what are your thoughts?
Was that a fat joke?
The biggest. Yes, could be a fat joke.
Not at all.
I'm the biggest Starscream fan in the world. It looks good. I like the other one, the War for Cybertron one. I think it looks a lot better. But this one, is this the one that's like $700?
$750.
$750, yeah. It looks good. I mean, some of it, the faces are kind of. I love the smirk. He always has to have the smirk.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has a couple of face switch outs and everything. So I don't think some of them match with him, but that's fine. If I had $750, I'd definitely get it. It looks really nice. But like I said, the one they did, a different company did the War for Cybertron one that looks really just beautiful. Like it's over like $2,000 or something like that. That I would love to have, but I would love to have this one too.
So, all right. There was never a doubt in my mind that you would love to have this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying.
What do you think about it?
So that's been the topic of a pretty good discussion so far.
Okay.
The question at hand is, with this statue being $750 and other comparable statues that we've seen in the ballpark of $1,000, some of the movie stuff.
This one's kind of plain,
so to speak.
No pun intended.
I mean, if you movie stuff, it's plain.
So let me ask you a question. If you saw this, right, and there was no price tag attached, what price would you associate with it?
I would say between $300 to $400.
Okay. Now, I like because
of the details. I mean, the movie stuff you're talking about, you may not like the movies or anything, but they're really detailed and they're really nice looking. This one is kind of, it's got the G1 effect. Just kind of plain. Like it doesn't have a lot of details.
Yeah, so we were having that same.
That base is fire, though.
Can I ask a quick question of Matthew with a serious question, not a stupid one? Now, Matthew, you said if you had the money, you would buy it.
Yeah, I think I still can get it because it's not coming out till like 2021 or something.
Yeah, but you gotta save for that Fanstoys Minosaur, though.
Fanstoys making this? So, okay, if you had the money, you would buy it. Now, so you're saying now, you would entertain the price if you could afford it. So do you like it enough to, let's say you spend $750 on Transformers in a 6-month period.
I'll be right back.
Right? Would you stop buying Transformers and just put the money that you would spend in a cookie jar to wait that 6-month period to then buy it? You like it that much? You know what I mean?
No.
But it's
I'm not. I know, I understand that, but I'm not a huge statue collector. I have statues, but they're, on the low end, cheap, I know $100, give or take, and cheaper. So if I had a chance to have 6 months to spend that much money on the Transformers, I would do that because I like Transformers to transform and stuff. But I say that, and I also bought Drift and everything, and I'm gonna get Tarn too. But that's not, I'm not really a big statue collector.
But this would be like your shockingly beautiful display piece. It's 2 feet tall.
Yeah. I mean, I had to find somewhere to put it. I mean, I'll probably sleep with it or take a shower with it or something. I mean,
put it in your shower.
Objection, Your Honor. I think the prosecution is leading the witness.
But I mean, to be honest, if I had a choice, I would save towards that other one because I think it's more it's breathtaking. I mean, that one, the Worf Cybertron one, is just beautiful. I mean, that would be my centerpiece.
It has the details and it has all the sculpt work.
This one, it's just kind of, like I said, it's kind of plain. I don't think it's $750 worth. Like I said, I would probably give $300 to $350. Would be honest.
That's better than what I said because I said $5, Matt. So.
No, I said $200. Now let me ask you my follow up to this because this is kind of what I'm getting at. Do you think that any of the cartoon designs, like in a very extreme literal translation, which this is trying to be,
extreme translation,
do you think that any of them can really foot that bill of $750? Like maybe
no.
See, I think the only one I can think of off the top of my head would be maybe Unicron.
Okay, Unicron or maybe Fort Max.
See, even Fort Max, like
if
they were going for a cartoon representation, it's just going to look like square.
Yeah, that's true. Unicron would be well. I mean, it matters how detailed. Are you talking about detail like the movie, or like Armada, or what? Which one are you talking about? I'm sure you're talking about the movie Unicron. Exactly right.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like Unicron was an Armada.
yeah.
Well, I mean, he's been in. He's in.
I treated that shit like I treat people that don't speak English very fluently. I just took the pieces I understood and connected it together.
I could see Unicron being, as a 700, even more, maybe 1,000.
Because you'd have those fine pieces for the wings and all that line work that's in the body of it, like. That I can see.
What about a combiner? Like maybe Predaking?
Hold on. While you're on,
look at
Matt.
the cartoon of Predaking. It's trash. Like it's cool because it's cool.
The season 3 one, the kind of the sleek.
You're talking about the Call of the Primitives, but like that would fetch a higher price tag than the normal Predaking, but I still don't know about $750.
How much was the Unicron, that lamp, that very large, like LED'd out lamp that just came out recently? It came out, right?
Like $1,500.
Oh, okay.
Give or take, or something like that. But no, to answer your question, probably not. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you did take Fort Max from the cartoon, it would be boxy. I think Unicron would probably be the only one that could maybe fetch $750. I probably would put that up to maybe $600, give or take. But I don't think a G1 cartoon representative of like I said, the statue is the Starscream is kind of plain, so I don't, $750 is a lot of money to put towards that. But if you're a huge Starscream fan like I am, I would still like to get it.
Sure.
But if you're on the fence about it, you could pass and
I think
you get cheaper statues.
What was that one statue that was like a G1 in spirit Starscream, but was like way more detailed? Was it Prime 1? Fuck, God, I wish I could keep. I need to become more educated on this statue shit because that's where I'm headed.
You need
There's
an
some beautiful
assistant.
pieces out there. There's really some beautiful pieces out there.
You need an assistant.
Did I tell you that? Did I tell you that story?
I thought Joe was your assistant.
That's what I said.
Did I tell you that? No, it's XM. It's XM Studios. That XM Studios Starscream. See that?
I don't remember that.
Let me make sure this isn't the one you're not calling.
Which is the one that with the War for Cybertron one?
See, I think you might be thinking this is War for Cybertron, but I wouldn't necessarily call it that. Is that where he's got like one leg bent up and he's kind of have both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of got the Tetrajet look.
I'm not angry at you for saying that. I think it's kind of just a re.
You wouldn't be angry at me at all. Just be honest.
No, because it has it comes with I think it might come with a little jet. Like a little G1 jet.
But he's got the way he looks, and his blasters too look like the War from.
Yeah, but I think it's just trying to, evoke. Like it's just trying to be G1 in spirit, and I think because it's so techy that it lends itself to maybe the War for Cybertron. But that's neither here nor there. This, I can see, and I'm sure this is more than $750. But let's take a look at that. But I can see this being $750. Like this looks like it's bought and paid for.
Right.
Let's XM Studios. Let me look them up.
I think that one that we're talking about is.
You guys want to change to just a statue podcast? I feel like this is the best discussion we've had in a long time.
How much would you pay for? Say Minosaur is your, the Stunticons are your favorite. How much?
Correct.
Would you pay for a G1, kind of like the Starscream we're talking about? How much would you pay for a G1?
The XM or the
the one with the Starscream?
Dude, it was going to be significantly larger than 2 feet. Like, is it a 2 foot? Is the same scale as this one? Like 2 foot tall, quarter scale?
It had to be bigger than Starscream.
But I don't think they make shit to scale that way. Like when it comes to statues, it's just like this is a 2 foot piece.
Yeah, they're all 2 foot pieces.
Exactly.
And then Robert, would you pay?
So I would say
Silverbolt?
I would say 300, 350, maybe 4 tops.
Okay. See, that's what I would pay for a Starscream. That's what I would pay, probably.
Hey, guys, I gotta get out of here.
All right, buddy.
I'm
Catch you
having
next week.
No, I'll catch you next week.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
All right. Catch me.
Will you catch me on the rebound? Hey, catch me on the rebound, please.
Catch me outside.
I'll catch you when you fall, man.
Catch me outside.
I'm trying to think.
So, Robert, would you pay for your favorite? Is I think you said Silverbolt and.
Okay, so that Starscream is $2,000.
Yeah, I thought it was like $1,500, $2,000, but that thing is fucking beautiful. Yeah, but if you walked in a house and you saw that, it'd be
that's my point though. Is I see this, and I'm like, oh wait, SGD. That's not real dollars.
That's a shattered gold denominator.
That might be some other shit.
I think it still is around $1,500 to $2,000.
Okay, but see, that's the thing is I can look at this and I can justify the $2,000 for this. I wouldn't spend $2,000 for this because the character obviously doesn't mean that much to me. But I have an easier time justifying the price on this at $2,000 than I do the price on that other thing at $750.
Right, yeah. Like I said, I would pay for it because it's Starscream, and that's just because I'm crazy. But if it was another character, like say Megatron or or Stunticon, something like that, I'd be like, you're out of your mind.
Right.
So, like I said, and then you would pay something for the Stunticons and everything and all that stuff. It matters. I think a lot of it is the character, how much the character means to you, and you'll spend as much as you think more than you would usually for another character.
Right. No, I get that. I'm just speaking if to try to disconnect yourself from the character and just speak.
Right. Yeah. No, I think it's too much. No. Right. Yes. Honestly, I think it's too much for something that is kind of I keep saying plain, but it's just it's G1. It's straight out of the cartoon. Maybe it was in jet mode. It would maybe look a little.
I kind of feel like the Make Toy Starscream is more impressive at 120. as an action figure in a smaller size than this thing is at $750 at a larger size. That's how I feel.
Okay, I can see that. And plus, you are paying for size too. It is 2 feet. I'm sure you know. Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, people, you're paying for a 2 foot damn statue. It's not going to be.
It's not like it's made out of marble though, Mac. It's like you know what I mean.
Imagine if it was.
If it was, it'd be different.
But Robert, would you pay like I keep saying, you like the Silverbolt and the Superior and stuff? Would you pay $400 for one of these statues, or is he even there?
Maybe it's just us, Matt.
All right.
Hey Matt. Finally, am I right?
Sorry.
Cringer.
Let me answer his question, Mac.
I was just going to repeat it. I didn't know if you had heard it.
My guinea pig was just running over the mute button.
Damn guinea pig, man, with a one eye.
All right, go for it.
I don't think I'm into the statue show. Like, I like it, but I don't. Maybe if I had a ton of real estate for it, but
so you're out on the podcast. That's what you're saying.
That's another thing. The real estate. You keep saying real estate. Yes, that's a big. 2 feet. Where the hell are you going to put this thing at?
Yeah, but that's the thing about the statue shit is you can't, unless you have a redonkulous amount of space, you can't look at it as a completionist thing. You have to look at it as, I love this. Like you, Matt, it's easy. It's Starscream and you're done. And if you don't think it's perfect, wait. That to me seems like the approach to take.
Yeah, that's a good approach. Yeah,
because I want a Batman, but I haven't quite seen the Batman for me yet. But I know it's fucking.
Where would you put that at?
It's fucking Batman. Another one is coming. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah, because it's Batman.
Exactly.
But where would you put a 2 foot? Where would you put a 2 foot statue of Batman at?
I got a plan, but I can't talk about it right now.
Please tell me it would be right before you go downstairs.
No. So I gotta relax a little bit. So the DVD,
she's somebody listening.
Yeah. So the DVD cases in the movie room.
So
I want to get rid of them. And put a solid case, like a trophy case behind there.
Nice, that'd be a good centerpiece.
Right. But her father built those, so she's got sentimental attachment to them. But I feel like I gotta get rid of them before he dies. Do you know what I mean? Because then it's gonna be even more difficult. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
He said he can, but he ain't kidding.
No. I am kidding about that.
You gotta find a better way to use those. Find them.
Dude, you could get rid of your 401k or 401k.
Yeah, but
tables.
I can't put statues there. It'll block everything. It'll block my Transformers. It'll block everything.
Honey, you know what? These shelves, they really belong in the garage.
Well, no. There's a couple other places in the house where I'm just gonna wait for the moment. I'm gonna be like, oh my god. Okay, give me a minute. Imagine. Wall, centerpiece, such and such, whatever the fuck we're talking about. Those DVD cabinets, one on one side. All right. Boom. Sure enough, right there on the other side, there's the other one. How do you feel? Are you feeling what I'm feeling? Try to kind of.
You got to have this conversation while you're going downtown.
Yeah. Banging the hell out of her. Yeah, you know where these.
Matthew, I met on the drive. Oh my god!
Oh my god! Whatever. Bobby knew what you were saying.
But yeah, so I'm trying to work it. I've already started laying the foundation. I just need time.
But I think I could get. Like I said, this is not that Starscream is not coming out for about a year or two. So I think I could swing it.
And make sure that this is the Starscream.
But it's not though.
Then don't get it.
I want
then
that
don't
other
get it.
one.
Then don't. No. Oh, you're gonna get this one, the 750 one.
No. Yeah, I thought about getting the 751 because it's reasonably affordable, and it is Starscream. Like I said, I'm crazy.
That's
I
true.
Want Starscream.
That's true. I will support you for that because it is your passion character.
Like I said, if it was another character, I'm not. I'm passing.
Okay. All right. But all right. So here's my other thing though with collecting things this size. I feel like you had to be extra critical. Like for me, right? Let's say this was Minosaur. Like I feel like this face is like a little long. Like he's a little, like you'd be like, why the long face? Like he's like. So like, for me, if this was Minosaur and the face was that off, I'd pass. Because like if I'm spending that much money on something that big to take up that much real estate, it has to be perfect.
That is true. Yeah. So so I could see myself passing this one and trying to save for that other one. But I think that one's sold out anyway, so I can't even get that one.
Nah. Oh yeah, it says orders closed. Orders
sold
closed
at $1,500.
At $2,000. At $2,000.
What do they make? 10? They made 10 of them.
Probably.
So if you buy it, if you buy it,
there's collectors out there, man. Bobby's talked about those collectors, man. There's. Joe KW is one of those collectors.
If you put a down payment on it, it's $2,000. If you buy it right now outright as a pre-order, it's $1,784, so $1,800. You save $200. It's 10%. It's 5% off, or additional 5%. So it's like 10% off. But it doesn't matter because it's already sold out.
Yeah. Man, if I know they had a payment plan, I would have done the payment plan. Maybe.
See, guys, I feel like it's about time we took the next step.
Porn?
No.
Oh, I thought I was going to porn SCU.
The Lotus Stark step.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Dude. The guy who wears gloves to do reviews, man. That's hardcore, man.
As my buddy Joe KW he's coined a phrase. I think it's his first catchphrase. So I've got to make sure he has credit for it.
What the fuck?
All roads end at quarter scale.
Nice. Their Lotus, man, he's got some. I've seen some of his reviews where he's got some beautiful statues.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He's all about the statue game, man.
Yeah, his statue collection is crazy.
Yeah,
and beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
If I had statues, I would just look like an idiot. They'd just be jumbled up.
Yeah, because you got that dark ass closet to put them in.
Yeah, you do. Man, somebody told me when you was on 30 Minutes with me, they said, man, somebody needs to put a lamp in them details or something, man.
I was riding Robert's room very, very hard. Because he was like, my house is haunted. I was like, of course it is, that dark ass room. So here's the thing. I got to give Lotus like a great big shout out because that dude's a gentleman. I'll tell you why.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He knew I was wrong, and he didn't reprimanded me. He just guided me. He just guided me from a distance, like a Qui-Gon. He's like
KY jelly.
When I was talking about doll life, right? And I was like, I don't get it. It's it's not for me. It's blah blah blah. Like he hit me up privately, and he was like, look. It's gonna happen.
He dropped in your DMs?
Yeah, he got right up in my DMs. And let me tell you something. One thing about Lotus, my man likes to type. And anytime I get a PM from him, I already know scrolling is going to be involved in that PM.
You make a cup of coffee? Do you make a cup of coffee and sit down?
Yes.
You gotta bring your lunch, man. You gotta
bring your lunch to a Lotus Stark DM. And he told me kindly. He was like, look, I understand your position, but it's maybe in time. You'll see what there is to appreciate it. And
in my head, sit by a fireplace with some coffee.
Yes, that's how I imagine him. Yes, and I was like, man, fuck this shit. And I think he's in Florida, but I still envision him near a fireplace, even though it's probably dumb hot. And I was like, and he was like, and then eventually you will end up in the quarter scale, and you might end up in the quarter scale room. Because there is an escalation to this, and as you move along, as a man that values quality and such, like it's a good chance you might end up in one of these places. So just keep an open mind, and I love
how your tone changes. Man.
That's how I hear his voice when I read his textbooks that he sends me. That's how I read his voice, and he was right. He was right about it all, and I was telling him in my head. of course, when I responded back, I was like, man, thanks for the it's all good. But in my head, I was like, you don't know me. Like, I'm never gonna get into any of this shit. And now here I am. Here I am.
Yeah.
You know.
You don't know me.
So like, yeah, he's a gentleman. He's a gentleman, and he knows how to approach. He knows how to guide people that just that are misled. It's not that they're wrong; they're misled and they're not ready. That's where I was. Let's move on to questions. I know Tyler F sent a question he definitely wants to get in, so I'm going to read that one next. But we are going to do MP Collectors first. MP Collector is funny as shit, man. That dude texted, because we recorded last week on Monday, I think, right?
Yeah.
He texted me and was like on Friday, and he was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't get the question in fast enough for that. And I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck.
It's fine, man.
Yeah.
We're not paying you. You're not gonna get demoted or anything.
We barely care enough to show up. We don't even all show up anymore. Like,
why? You may not. I care to show up. I missed it.
Matt, you were playing Fortnite the other night and didn't show up to the game.
So I can Fortnite and SCU.
No, you couldn't, because you told Cody you had to jump off of Fortnite so that you could SCU.
I'll Fortnite your ass. What I'll do.
He's too busy, like doing 50 reviews a day.
Yeah, I gotta get my reviews. I gotta get 30. I gotta get people on 30 minutes.
Oh man, I'm just waiting for the day where you can't make Shattercast, but I see 2 30 minutes with so and so go up.
Dude, I try to get you on, but you're got a little busy schedule going on.
So here's the thing. Let me address that, because I heard you talk about it in the video. So you say, all I hear about is all your night classes, your night classes, your night classes. So I know you want to do a 30 minutes. I would like to do a 30 minutes with you, so to speak. And
7 minutes ahead.
So all of my...
Are you finished yet? I'm sore.
All of my scheduling, I'm thinking to myself, like, make sure I get a morning for Matt. Make sure I get a morning. So I'm like moving shit around. I'm shifting shit around. I'm like, look, I think I can do this day at 9 a.m.
Oh, and then I say I got a morning class.
And you're like, can't do it. Got my morning class. And then the first thing I said to you was, I thought you did night classes.
That was my bad.
So like,
just like, not for you.
Exactly. He treats me like the poor kid.
No, that was my bad. I forgot. I forgot to tell you I do.
But dude, I'm not going anywhere. You're losing all this weight. You're not going anywhere. I saw your gym pic, Mac. So
I go back. I'm going tonight too when I get home.
Yeah, we'll get it together. Don't worry about it. We'll make it happen.
Oh yeah, I know. And I want to say, I love the you and Robert and Jix thing. I told Robert, and for some reason Robert thought I was salty. I was like, dude, I said I love it. I said I'm proud of you. It was a really good show. And Robert's got to talk smack as always.
Dude, I like that, man. I like Robert called it, like, it's that short burst.
Yeah, that's why I do the 30 minutes, man, because people's attention spans are, like gnats. They just, and people love it. I mean, I had people come up to you at TFCon like, man, I want to be on your show. I got, I'm not saying I'm not bragging or anything, but I've got tons of people lined up that want to do it.
But just make sure you give them enough time to miss it too, Just make sure you give them enough time to miss it.
I've had people cancel.
No. That's not what I mean, Matthew.
Oh, okay. I understand. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I misunderstood. I apologize.
Yeah. Just give people a chance to breathe. Like I was listening.
Yeah.
Did you listen to Inner Realm this week?
Yes.
Dust was saying I was getting ready to go check out the 30 minutes, but I checked out the catalog. He's got like 40 episodes up. I was like,
yeah, I know. I need to slow down. I know.
Yeah, just sprinkle them.
I will.
Make them want more.
Sprinkle with kindness.
All right. So the question was, with pre-orders for Fanstoys first combiner figures going up this week, I thought it would be timely to discuss what our expectations are for this company's combiner efforts. Do you guys think a Fanstoys combiner can compete with Zeta in combine mode? Or all of you planning on leaving any Fanstoys combiner figs displayed individually? Do you think Fanstoys will encounter any major QC issues with their first combiner figures out the door? And what do you want them to tackle next following the release of Menasor and Superion? All right, so there's a few questions there that we have to unpack. So let's start first with, do you think they can compete with Zeta in combine mode? That's tough. So
forming?
See, that's the question. We don't know enough yet. Like, I don't know if they can compete with the stability because we have no point of reference for that. Their figures are very rock solid, generally speaking, but we haven't seen two stand on top of or one stand on top of two. And
yeah, I mean, look what happened to TFC without the parts forming. You know, now they're just floppy messes.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Robert, what are your thoughts on Fanstoys? And this is all obviously speculative.
I think
competing with Zeta in combine mode.
Yeah, I mean, I think entering the combiner game, they are new to the game. You know, they're going to ride they're riding their own coattails, their success and their good name, but it's dangerous waters because I think there's a lot of bitterness surrounding a lot of their recent releases with regard to the difficulty of transformation, especially like RC and Cup and just the issues with RC. I never had an issue with Springer. I didn't find the transformation like mind-bogglingly frustrating, but a lot of people did.
I feel like that's a jab. Continue.
but so you've got that, and then they're new jacks now, so it can actually damage them because I think they're not anymore. You can't guarantee that a Fanstoys release is going to be the entire package of like wonderment, because there might be some serious issues like what we've seen. So imagine now as a combiner, I can definitely see them having some serious flaws, and I think their first combiners should have been at a discount.
Stability worries me with their combiners for two reasons. One, I personally do feel like their engineering has gotten more complicated over the course of the past year.
Yep.
And as a result, like flipping those things into those three modes, it has to withstand that wear and tear. And I am concerned about that. Secondly, their figures are heavy, which has always been a blessing for a single release. But when you have that much weight, like, people are like, man, these Zeta figures feel like shit. They feel like they're just going to fly away. And I'm like, I don't disagree. But when those motherfuckers stand together, it's a nice weight and it handles it. You don't
have that limp shit, man. You don't want to have it all. And I mean, do you think like Zeta, their modes always suffer. The Combaticons, the bot modes suffered. But the alt modes and the combined mode were good. Do you think that Fanstoys is going to be like that too?
No.
I don't know. If we're playing the law of averages, right? Fanstoys nail sculpt and presentation. Like that's what they really nail. It just so happens that is what most people that are collecting high-end shit care about. So when people are like, well, I can't flip it back and forth. And it's like, yeah, well, it's $160. I'm not flipping anything $160 back and forth.
What you said about the Cyclonus?
Yeah, exactly. Like that Cyclonus, like I can't, dude, I can't say enough about that fucking thing. That gave me those old school vibes of getting a Transformer out of the case and being like, fuck me. Like, and I haven't had that in a long time. Fanstoys included. I didn't have it with Cup or Springer or fucking, like, I would give it to Galvatron, like Insecticon days. That's what it took me back to. I don't know. It's going to be rough. This is their first venture in it. And Motormaster being self-contained scares me. It's cool for Motormaster, but for Ministor, it's scary.
We don't need that gimmick.
No.
That's why it's like I'm not in on the MMC one because I don't care. It doesn't have to be.
Don't put the fucking hands in the legs.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you thinking? But like, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like the trailer being self-contained inside him. Right. So like, if that's the case, then I would imagine that Motormaster's legs are going to be Ministor's legs. And I don't know if it'll ever be able to compete with Zeta under those confines.
It's gonna go weak after years, like a year or two. It's gonna be. It might fall for the TSC thing.
Yep. I don't know.
And that's Zeta. I think Zeta is going to be around for a while. I hope they do a lot more combiners. I really wish we hear some more.
So
I want to hear some more stuff.
Are you all planning on leaving any Fanstoys Combiner figs displayed? And are all of you planning on leaving Fanstoys Combiner figs displayed individually? That is my tentative plan for the exact.
I could do that too.
For the exact reason I mentioned, like they nail the sculpt, they nail the aesthetic, like they know their way around that shit. Do you think
I can see X Transbots being my Minosaur, and then Fanstoys could be the individual bots for me.
So wait for Saturday. Do you think Fanstoys will encounter any major QC issues with their first combiner figures out the door? Well, I think we already kind of addressed that with weight and the parts forming element and the self-contained motor master. I think there's a number of problems they could run into.
So are you saying, I know you're not saying I'm wrong about choosing X Transbots as my Minosaur, but are you saying that?
So it depends. It depends. So who's your Devastator?
Toy World.
You're wrong.
Because they're not gonna scale?
Nope.
I don't. But see, I've always seen Devastator is bigger than Minosaur.
So here's the thing. So that's the caveat to that. That's the caveat to that. That's the ultimate trump card.
Caviar.
If I'm like, look, I always envisioned Minosaur was the same size as Bumblebee. So if they make a really small Minosaur, no, I'm just saying. Like if that was me, right?
Yeah, but it's a centimeter shorter. It's not.
It's not.
Yeah, that's not.
Wait, whoa.
Whoa, hey, fucking curly over here.
What's a centimeter shorter?
I thought the X Transbots Minosaur is a centimeter shorter.
Yeah, he's like a centimeter or 1 or 2. He's not. Like I said, I've always seen Devastator.
The answer is no. That is not true.
What is it?
It's 2 inches. It's 18 inches.
What?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's still fine to me. I don't give about scale. I don't give a fuck about scale.
So if you don't give a fuck about scale, it doesn't matter.
Siri,
I win. Everybody wins. Yay.
Hold on.
Now, what Robert was saying, do you think that I think he mentioned was, do you think Fanstoys should have been a little cheaper with their first like their Stunticons?
Yeah.
Like X Transbot did. You think maybe Fanstoys should have been around?
Let me say this. Let me say this for the people. Let me say this first for the people in the comments. When you measure these figures, right? There's like, do you have them straight up and down, or do you have them in an A stance? Do you have them such and such and such and such? I just measured my Toy World Devi, stood him straight up and down, and he was about 20 inches. At that height, XTB comes in according to their stats, which nobody has it in hand, so that's fine. But it comes in at 18, which is slightly bigger than Unique Toys Bruticus. And Unique Toys Bruticus looks silly next to Toy World Devastator, in my opinion.
Damn it. Well, then I would do bots for the X Transbots. That sucks. I thought it was 2 centimeters, Bubby.
No.
How many centimeters is it?
I don't know. I don't work in centimeters. I'm American.
It says it in centimeters. How did you get 20?
I did the translations from centimeters to inches.
How many centimeters?
18 inches.
So it's going to be significantly smaller than a Toy World Constructor then.
2 inches.
Well, God damn it, Bobby.
I want to check this. I want to see if you're full alone.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I want to Gregor's fat Cheshire.
Let's see here.
Now, what about the price? Like I said, do you think they should have maybe did their first combiner a little cheaper?
I don't know, man. Well, see, but they didn't do that because it was their first combiner. They did it because they were getting knocked off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. But, and like you said, they are riding on their coattails. They are going there. We are Fanstoys, and, we do put out good products. So I think people's going to buy them anyways. I don't care. I don't think the price really matters to people.
49 centimeters in inches.
Wow. He's really chicken.
It's 19.291 inches.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. I see that. But I think that
that's not bad.
Get on that bike and backpedal.
No. Let me look up.
On back.
So that is the problem. My X-Transbot, my constructor was measured in an A stance at 20 inches.
Ooh. Good comeback.
Backpedal.
What?
Backpedal.
What did I do?
What happened?
My wife just opened the door and gave me this look like, you're a fucking idiot.
She does that all the time.
She does that often, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Love my wife so much. I do.
You got a lovely wife, man.
I love her. I love her to death.
They're texting. Lisa and Lisa are texting, man. They're text buddies now.
It's weird.
Did Bobby leave?
Yeah. It measures standing straight up at 21 inches.
That's still not bad. 19 and 21. That's still not bad. I mean, it's still
2 inches. It's the same difference.
I know, but I still think that's not that bad.
No, it's not 1.5. It's 49.2.
It's
49.2.
I don't think that's terrible.
It's
19.2.
19.2.
No, so it's 19.29 is 19.3 when you're rounding.
Okay, so still not 19 and a half.
I don't think it's terrible though.
So the DX9 one is going to be 19.6.
Are you getting the DX9 Stunticons?
Yeah, I'm getting all of them.
Okay. Well, yeah, because you're like, so what are they going to be though? They're not your combine mode, are they?
Yeah, that's my plan.
So you're gonna get them all. You're just gonna get them all. That's what's hard thing about Fanstoys. The sculpts are so nice looking. You know, do we know what the height is on the Fanstoys? No, do we? We do.
Yes, we do. Well, we don't, but
19.5.
The dude says it's 2 centimeters shy of.
Whoa! You're breaking my eardrum.
Sorry, 2 centimeters shy of Omega. All their combiners are going to be 2 centimeters shy of Omega.
Wow, that's good.
Yep.
That's so good. Damn it. And it's going to be a shitty, but if it looks good, it doesn't have to, I'll prop that shit up. I'll lean it in the back of the billy. I don't got to worry about no cheap glass.
Yeah, that's fair. I think my tentative
stuff like that you really don't mess with a lot.
Yeah. And then the final question was, what 2 would you like to see them do next?
Fanstoys?
Mm-hmm.
Abominus.
Okay.
And a Predaking.
Okay. Robert?
I want to see Defensor.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're talking about not the aerial bots. You know aerial bots.
Correct.
And
not the aerial bots, not the Stunticons.
So who went up against Defensor?
Who went up against Defensor?
Menasor, Mason.
Bruticus.
Was it? I thought Menasor.
No, Menasor went up against aerial bots.
Okay.
So annoying. I don't want another Bruticus. I don't want another Bruticus. So I would like to see the Predacons, and I would like to see a Defensor. I just need more Autobot combiners.
So that's mine. That's my 2 as well.
Oh wow.
The Predaking Defensor?
Predaking and Defensor.
Yeah, I don't want to see Abominus?
I do. Okay. I do. It's just not my next 2.
Right. Okay.
Abominus and Computron would be my next 2 after that.
Yes.
Yeah. What about? Yeah.
But that's a good set as well. That's a nice set, Abominus and Computron.
But I'm sure they're going to do Bruticus and Defensor next. That would be my guess.
I don't want another Bruticus, Bobby.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you what.
Please stop with the Bruticus.
I'll tell you what. I'll get them.
I think they're doing it. I think they're going to release Devastator. They showed that.
Them, and I will get my fucking Unique Toys the fuck out of here.
I think they're going to release Devastator, right? That apparently was a silhouette teasing a Devastator.
I think Takara's going to tackle Devastator.
I still think that shit was the Toy World one.
Me too, but they're going to fucking release a Bruticus and a Devastator, and the nerds' heads are just going to explode. And then another set of Dinobots.
Here's the thing: like Fanstoys is the one. Fanstoys is the one Transformer company I'll buy everything they put out, mold wise.
I buy
you know, I was about to catch you. Those Dinobot X's.
Yeah, I'm not buying that shit. But mold wise, I'll buy everything they put out.
Trash.
Don't you wish? What would you pay to get your hands on their Soundwave?
Nothing.
Okay.
Very easy.
Shot him down quickly. Why would you want a Soundwave? You got a perfect Soundwave from Takara.
Just for the sake of having their collection.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care so much about that. I just trust that company, and I'm rocking with them.
Are they going to release Hot Rod ever?
Like their worst figure. It seems like Hot Rod's definitely coming. The one I'm worried about is Trailbreaker and Blitzwing. I'm not sure if that shit's coming.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, all that other stuff is coming in 2 weeks.
I hope Trailbreaker comes in at least a week.
I don't give a fuck. Who gives a shit about Trailbreaker?
I do. I need a Trailbreaker. I got rid of my fucking Speed Bump or whatever his name was.
Oh man, they need.
I make X Trans.
I'm in for the X Transbot Stunticons.
I love them.
I love them. Flip Out is fucking wonderful.
Why are you getting DX9? Just because you're a Stunticon aficionado?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, but the bot mode's too big, right? And arguably the X Transbots look better than the DX9. And then the alt modes, right? They're too big.
Well, so here's the thing. I don't give a fuck about the alt modes.
So what are you gonna do with them when you Fanstoys and X Transbots?
They're gonna be my alt modes. The X Transbots.
That's not bad. Right. The alt modes for X Transbots
they scale right. They're work
nice.
fine.
They're nice.
I think that the X Transbot set so far looks great. Is
there too many Stunticons? When is there going to be too many?
I don't know. How much is too many?
You should display them on a shelf with the remains of the C-Dub Menasor.
Hold
on. So let's finish off this last. That was it for them. That was it for that. So
didn't you say there's a question from Tyler F?
Yes, and I'm going to.
Is he peeking around the wall when he's answering this? Or asking this?
Yeah, so, I don't know if we're going to be able to really answer this because I don't think any of you guys really
are smart.
Matter?
No, it's not so much that.
We're dumb.
It's just comic book related, and you guys don't really read the comics.
I'm going to try to answer.
Well, then let's answer anyway.
He says, today's Transformers Lost Light 25 releases. Before I take this final journey with the Lost Light crew, I'm pausing to reflect on all the memories I've had collecting these comics for the past 13 years. One of my favorites is when I was in my teens, my family got to church early on a Wednesday night, and my father gave me the money to go buy the comics 2 blocks away and hurry back. During the...
While he's in church?
Asian? He says during the Asian time of the comics? I don't know what that means. Do any of you guys have any fond memories throughout the years of collecting or reading the comics? We will leave Combiner Wars out for obvious reasons.
I can answer this.
Okay.
No. Anybody want a peanut, Tyler F?
I remember that story that I told the guy that I pirated his stuff. Yeah.
I had a great conversation with Tyler F at the bar at TFCon. He was just like, "You're always mean to me." I'm like, "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are." "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are. You're always mean to me." "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are." Okay. That went on for like 10 minutes. Not. That was our conversation. It was pretty fun. He hates me now. He thinks I'm mean to him.
I've tried to get all the single issues for the beginning of it, like the 1 through 80 or something like that. So I've been trying to get those, and I'm going to read them after I get the single issues. So, I mean, that's a story.
Bobby doesn't get single issue. Bobby gets the
I don't have any real memories in regard to anything that way. I don't have like any, like, I mean, it was a different, I was an adult. I just ordered them and bought them and read them and,
Put them in a box.
Wiped his ass with them.
What would you wipe your ass with them?
I don't know. That's what Bobby does. He's like, well, Laura.
No,
I love.
That's $100 bills.
This Hawkeye comic. I don't have to wipe my ass with it, but Laura, I can keep it.
Laura, fireworks.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Are you having trouble answering this?
I am a little bit because I like it's just like if there was like your favorite moments of the comics and stuff, I could point out a few, but like it's just
your favorite moment getting the comics is not
like I just like I don't have like my dad didn't give me any money, like I was grown as fuck by the time I started reading these books. There was one time that was kind of funny where I when I started reading them, I thought they were so good. I asked Laura to read them, and she made them like 2 episodes in, and was like, "I can't do this." like that, I'll always like laugh at that privately to myself. No, I don't really have any like special moments per se. I mean, James Roberts coming up to my table was a nice thing. But
that's pretty great, by the way. That's great.
No, that's
an achievement.
That was for Nerd Rage. That was a Nerd Rage discussion.
Yeah, it was. Everything's a Nerd Rage discussion, not Sharecast discussion.
So the answer is no, Tyler. You asked the yes or no question. The answer is no. We don't go to step B.
Yeah, it's no. It's no for me too.
I'm sorry, Tyler.
Sorry, Tyler. Peanut.
What about Mike S? He asked a question that's now outdated.
Well, answer it. What's the question?
Waiting for Bobby. Bobby's like humiliated because he can't remember the comment.
Bobby's dead.
No. It's not the case. No. I'm trying to think. Like for instance, like when I was reading them, like I remember getting to the DJD issue and realizing that there was this team of like Megatron zealots, and I remember thinking how cool that was and how I can't believe no one had ever done anything like this. Like stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I'm more curious. I don't really have a good answer. Usually I have a good answer for stuff like this. I just don't have anything interesting, I guess. It's obviously, like, I mean, honestly, what it ends up being. Yeah.
It's okay, but
yeah.
I remember when I was in junior high, I used to read the X-Men and Excalibur and X-Force and X Factor. And
X Factor, 2099.
I was in the comic shop. I was walking over junior high, and I saw the episode. I think it was Bumblebee. Bumblebee dies. In the early comics, and they looked terrible. The art was bad. And I picked it up, put it down. That's my memory. That's around the time that Spider-Man got married. I remember all those days. But that's about it. That's a memory.
Autobots died in the first, like the G1 comics. But they all get slaughtered by Shockwave and stuff. Yeah. That was pretty. And that was like the 3rd or 4th issue. That was like wild. Wow. I remember that.
Let's see if we can. Let's see. We're at 1 hour and 45 minutes. Let's see if we can do one more.
Let's do it,
gentlemen. Being that we're quickly heading towards Halloween season, here's a getting into the cast scary question for you. My wife, girlfriend, partner says your wife, girlfriend, partner says their parents are moving in. Oh Lord, and the space that your collection occupies needs to go ASAP. But good news, you get to keep one solitary Detolf. What do you put in it?
Oh God.
I'm positive Robert can jam that Omega Supreme in there very efficiently, but what about the rest of you? So like
Omega and Constructor in there.
The situation with that is that like the drama that would come from that. I don't know. Anybody got anything off the top of their head?
I would put Flame Toys Tarn. I would have to put Constructor in there. Okay. Constructor and Omega, they would just be like, excuse me, pardon me, come through. They'd be at the bottom, like in that photo of yours. And I would have Flame Toys. I'd have, I guess I could fit a couple of Flame Toys on the shelf. Then I'd have my Voltrons on another shelf. And how many shelves are in a Detolf? 3?
4.
Then I would have, I guess, just like
Legend Bumblebee,
just like MP10 and MP36. And I guess on top, cram as many legends as I can. The Magic Square figures. That's what I would do.
I would just have that Bumblebee, that New Age Bumblebee in my Detolf. That's the only one I'd have.
Oh, Matt, answer the question.
I would definitely put in, a shelf of Starscreams. Make toys. The Galaxy Meteor is a beautiful Starscream figure. Constructor, definitely. Omega, I could leave out. But they would, if I did put them in there, they'd be like, excuse me. A row full of Magic Square and Iron Factory figures. And then another shelf. Ugh. Damn.
At your Armada toys?
Maybe my Cybertron toys. Not Armada. I guess the MP10 and MP36 would be a good shelf, but also maybe the Galvatron, Scourge, and Cyclonus.
All right.
Or the 86 movie crew on there.
All of them.
All
They're all just like, stuck in a Willy Wonka elevator. Which way out?
It'd be like a rave, man. Yeah, it'd be like the elevator in when we're almost it didn't go up.
No. The elevator when they were going into the when he was when they first go in after they hang their coats and hats, and then he's like walking through the little room trying to find the door, and then he goes back.
I'm talking about the elevator that we all got in on it in North Carolina. I think.
Me. Oh.
And it didn't go up. It went the bell went off, and there was too much weight. That's how I want all that on one detail.
Talk about
Bobby,
that.
I'm sorry.
Let's hear Bobby. Come on.
Well, I think that, dude,
C-Dub Minosaur.
Yeah, C-Dub Minosaur. I don't know if I could do it, man.
It'd be hard.
I don't know if I could do it. And it's not so much the collection. It would be the principle of, there's a lot of drama with my in-laws. But I for the sake of the question, right? I would say, fuck. I would probably do 4 shelves: 1 Star Wars, 1 DC, 1 Marvel, 1 Transformers. That's like my big 4.
Okay.
I need a top. There's a top too.
That's true. That's true.
No.
So I would try to fit all my NECA turtles on top.
Man, what about the Adam West? That big old Adam West stuff and everything that Robert's got you.
That shit's getting tossed out.
Oh, yes. I would put Omega up on top then if I could have on top.
You answered. Let him answer.
Yeah, I think I would try. I wouldn't do anything conventional in the sense of like, here's my masterpiece Optimus, my masterpiece Megatron. Like I might do like, an Optimus, a Megatron, the masterpieces, and then like the G1 of each. And the Stunticons, some representation of the Stunticons. And then the next shelf, and honestly, that would probably be my bottom shelf. And like, if I got that Flames Toys Tarn, I would put that in there as well. My next shelf, my DC shelf, would probably be my Hot Toys Bane. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe my Hot Toys Arkham Joker and my 1/6 statue of Harley. And then my statues of Superman and Batman. And just call that a day. My Alex Ross statues of Superman and Batman. And then my Marvel one. I don't know. A couple Hot Toys. And maybe a couple Hot Toys. Like Hot Toys Iron Man. Yeah. Hot Toys Iron Man. And
Aquaman.
That's wrong universe.
I know that, but I'm saying DC should have Aquaman riding seahorses.
Dude, if they do a seahorse riding Aquaman, I'm in.
Please get it.
A seahorse riding Aquaman?
Yeah. No.
Kind of movie.
No, don't do that.
So let's see. And then like for Marvel, I'd probably do my Hot Toys Iron Man, my Hot Toys Spider-Man, my Hot Toys Punisher probably, and then a Marvel Legends X-Men group. And then for my Star Wars, I would probably do my Hot Toys Episode 4 Solo, my Hot Toys Episode 7 Chewie,
Really?
My Hot Toys Episode 5 Vader, and then stuff as many Black Series Figuarts and 3 3/4 in there that I could to make it that didn't look junky.
No Luke.
No, I like. So if I had the Hot Toys Force Projection Luke, that would be a runner in that shelf.
A driver.
And a flyer. But as of right now, I do not.
What about the guy you want really bad? The with the tubes.
2 tubes. What about that guy? What's his name with the 2 tubes?
The 2
Yeah,
tubes.
2 tubes.
You had him. You put that guy in there. I know that.
It would be, it would be complicated.
So you wouldn't just have like Episode 4 Millennium Falcon Crew Hot Toys.
I don't think so.
Wow. That's a hard question, because your collection is not just Transformers. That's tough.
Let me ask you this question and see if it kind of spin off this. If you could start over collecting, would you do it different?
Yeah.
Or differently.
Wait. So,
or differently.
Start over from the very first time, like start 100%.
Start from scratch.
Yeah, I might not do 3 3/4. I might not do 3 3/4. The thing is with my Star Wars collection, like my 3 3/4 is my longest running collection, so it's like it's something that means the most to me, and it's something that I can't even put into words how much that collection is. It'd be one of the last things I let go.
Right.
But if I could do it all over again and not have to worry about the connection I had to 3 3/4, I might take you up on that. But then I'm not sure if I'd be the person I am today in regards to collecting had it not been for 3 3/4.
Right.
So it's tricky.
Yeah. To rock around.
Rock around.
What about
I'm
you?
Surprised. That's a good
Robert,
question.
would you be a different collector if you started from scratch?
I feel like with Transformers Prime, I started over. It's relatively recent. I was never a collector before. I was a kid that got toys and I didn't collect them, didn't respect them. I neglected them, and I didn't inflect them.
You rejected them.
I rejected them. So I'm pretty new to it. And now if I came into it at this moment and then all the stuff over the past 5 years, I had an opportunity to pick and choose, I would approach it differently, for sure. I would just go big bots and legends. I think I'm already down the rabbit hole with the MP stuff, but it would just be an easier life. I would have more. It's just a space issue, in my dark little closet, my dark hole.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I feel like with the big bots, you're getting really beautiful MP style combiners, and I love the Magic Square and stuff that's coming out now. So I still feel that level of toy. It's just tiny, Yeah.
But they look. I mean, they're MP. Some of that Ultra Magnus people are saying are better than the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus.
Mm-hmm.
They're really going leaps and bounds of a better product for the Legends now. Iron Factory, if you like that stylized stuff, and Magic Square, if you like that G1 aesthetic.
Yep.
And I think they're knocking out Legends left and right. I think you could finish complete, G1 casts within a year probably.
Yeah.
Maybe now.
2 weeks?
Probably 2 weeks.
I think we upset Bobby. He's like living like he's
he's been
really
kind of dazed off lately.
Nah, I got something popping off here.
Pre-orders.
What's popping off, Bobby?
I can't talk about it right now. I can talk about it when we get off air.
She overheard you.
Okay. I think we're done.
All right, let's wrap it up. It was a pleasure chatting.
That was fun.
Yeah, no, I think we had some good discussions, some good statue discussions, and then the good discussions regarding the Fanstoys shit. So let's wrap it up.
Good night, folks.
Good night.
And my personal favorite, the well-established Gentleman's Show, Stasis Lock. At Real Robot and Fear Corpse. I am Ratchet. Third party
GF Crashers and Open Your Toys podcast.
This podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Its sole purpose is entertainment. It doesn't fit for your sensitive sensibilities.